Check, check. Yes, the microphone works as well. How to score lots of brownie points and fix your girlfriend's phone. Yes, it's smashed. It's really not as hard as you think, and it looks amazing. But most importantly, it's not as difficult as she thinks. This is a success story, not a disaster movie. There's a couple of different ways of doing it. I didn't go for just buying the digitizer, which is more or less a piece of glass that isn't to the exact manufacturer's size. I went for what looked, to all extents and purposes, to be genuine and original, and it was even in the right colour surround. You have to get the whole front half of the phone. Well, it's just the guts, the contents, all the intelligence of the phone that you get out of the old device, screw it all into the new device. It sounds complicated, and it is, but you can't break the new glass quite the same as you could break the new glass. When that's all you're buying, there's a chance it's quite flimsy. Between the disassembly and the assembly, I've put in how easy it is to get the old screen off. The most difficult part that you'll have to be careful about is the battery. You will have to use some quite strong alcohol, shaking out some grappa from your Italian holiday from your hip flask. The last few drops was all I could manage. To find a neat alcohol in the house, it's got to be at least 40% proof, hasn't it? And if it's as weak as that, you'll probably have to do the hairdryer trick on the screen as well. Now, that Peaky Blinders razor for shaving your face, they are incredibly useful, but be careful with it. Perhaps put some tape on the back edge of it so you don't cut yourself. You don't want to get to the turning it on and testing it stage and realise that you damaged the battery and have to buy a new one of those. Not cheap. The big problem is lack of information on what is the right size screwdriver to do this with. It's the smallest one in the set, PH000. There's often a hash in there, and there are sets that fake it because it's small. It needs good quality metal, so they put in bigger size up rather than the smaller one. And if you stick that in an electric drill, you're going to thread the screw and game over. Try putting a flathead in the crosshead. It's not going to be good enough steel in most little sets you get. I've got a Note 20 Ultra, so I'm going to be using that one of the 60 odd piece bits again, but you could probably look after it and take it back to the shop. Now, halfway in, step 1. Carefully so you don't warp the fairly soft plastic of the back. Scrape around the edge and lift off the back. You won't be able to stick this back on, even heating it, so you'll have to try Yoo-Hoo or something, or putting it in a phone cover forevermore or something. Oh, you'll need a good task light. 500 lumen. This one has got a magnet on the bottom, which is quite helpful for magnetising your screwdriver. Magnetised little screws can be as much of a nuisance. You just can't get them in the hole. No one wants that, do they? Can't get it in the hole. That's the whole point of the exercise. Now, there is a very pleasant, slightly African-sounding man that's done a good video of how to do this. I've never done it before. I was much more ginger or delicate, and he hasn't included those all-important practical tips that'll save you a whole morning at various DIY places and supermarkets. Finding that elusive triple O secret screwdriver. There's a load of silver screws that I arranged on a sponge protective covering that came with the part that I ordered, and I put them in the positions that they came out of the phone. But there's the black screws as well that aren't immediately obvious until you've peeled a few bits out. I assembled the pieces upside down in the way that they came out of the phone, and I think that was helpful afterwards as well. Putting it back together. The fella on the video has obviously done it before, and he's a bit blasé, a bit rough at times, a bit complacent. Assembly is pretty much the reverse of disassembly, but it's easy to get excited when it's all going well, and you can see the finish line. It's not the end of the world. A couple of times had to unclip a couple of things to put a couple of forgotten screws in. What I would suggest though, and I can only know this by a long period of use, there's a film over the sticky that you're supposed to stick the battery down to. I don't really see why that's too important, because the induction charging coil holds the battery down, and there's 3 straps. The straps clip into little circuit board things quite firmly. It's all quite sturdy, not so flimsy, but be very careful with the ribbon things. Taking the screen off the front just to see how difficult it was, I managed to rip through one of those ribbons, and I'm never going to be able to solder that together. You can easily do this in your own home over a few hours. But again, don't peel off the film where the battery is supposed to stick down, because with the best will in the world you might have to go a step or two back. But also, there's plenty of little nooks and crannies around that battery where, when you're putting those screws in, if those screws don't fall right in the slots because you've got an annoying little magnetised screwdriver, they might stick to the sticky. You might not get those screws out of the battery enclosure nooks and crannies, and you need them, don't you? Don't lose the screws. Can you imagine having to get out some more? And decide which ones you're going to leave out. Oh, if you can as well, make sure you charge the phone, the battery, before you start, because it took a little bit longer than usual for it to turn on to start. Perhaps only a second, 10%, like a second over 10 seconds, but it was a bit a heart-pumping moment. The heart sinks, oh no, I've damaged the battery trying to get it out. Getting the battery out is where it's all going to go wrong, I think. I was tempted to destroy everything around, destroy the old case just to get the battery out clean, but getting your thumbs behind it and levering it lengthways, like there's a couple of soft spots behind, as if you're trying to snap the phone in half. Oh, those little plectrum things were useful. The only useful things, the 4 little screwdrivers that you get, you only need one of them. This is with the pack that comes through the post, and that one of them doesn't work. Even if you're pressing down hard and giving yourself stigmata, I think it's that the metal shaft doesn't really fix to the plastic handle and it just spins. I did try a rubber band gripping the metal shaft and a pair of pliers, but that just sheared off the little plastic handle and I couldn't push all the way through my hand and to the other side. It's not Easter. Next time, how to make a Bluetooth speaker out of a defunct Revo K2 powerhouse of a DAB internet radio. The screen went, and then for 2 years you could just operate it on the volume control, but no more. I think it's the software not updating. I'd love to be able to say, next time, how to repair a Victorian steam engine. It doesn't look any less complicated or daunting, does it really? You will feel pleased with yourself after doing this Samsung screen repair, and you will surprise all around you as well as yourself. Hey Joe, why don't you give it a go?